Hi there, I'm Ben and welcome to part 5 of my Dark Souls Let's Platinum series. The series where I walk you through every single step, and I mean everything, to get the Platinum for this game. Yes, that's 2.5 playthroughs we will be doing, so that's a big ask, but we're going to be doing it. This guy here, Thorolund, the guy from Thorolund, I forget his name, he's going to go off on his adventure. His friends are here now. He's going to tell you about that later on. He will leave. It's going to be for a very short period and then he will be back. But what we're going to do now, the first thing we're doing in this video, before we head to Blighttown, is a little bit of soul farming. This is mainly to buy up all of the guy from Thorolund, I think it's Thorolund, all of his miracles. We're also going to buy all of the pyromancies from not Lautrec, from Laurentius, and then we've also got all of the sorceries from Griggs. These are all in Firelink Shrine. You know the farming spot if you've seen the previous videos. You know where I'm heading, but like I said, I'm walking you through every single step. So for me to just say go to the farming spot, you might not exactly know where I'm heading. Especially if you don't know the game. I know the game like the back of my hand now, having played it so many times. But yeah, if you're playing this for the first time, this is one hell of a maze. It all looks, well, it doesn't all look, that would be, no, that's a horrible thing to say because it really doesn't. It doesn't all look the same at all, but when you're just running through these corridors and things, it can be quite intimidating. But yes, we're going to go there and we're going to farm about roughly 100,000 souls. It's going to take me less than a second because I've edited it out. But it's going to take you a while, probably about half an hour or so, maybe a bit longer. It's definitely worth doing at this point. For the reasons I mentioned, we're going to buy all the pyromancy, sorceries and miracles. And we're also going to fully upgrade the shield and the bow, and for the most part upgrade the pyromancy flame as well. These guys here can drop something called blooming purple moss. That unfortunately is just purple moss, called blooming purple moss. I will be buying some later on because I didn't get any off these guys, but we are going to need it because it cures. It doesn't just cure poison like purple moss does, it cures toxic. There are toxic guys in Blighttown, and once you are toxic, your health goes down very quickly. Poison really doesn't bother me in this game. Usually I hate poison in games, but in this game it really doesn't bother me. It's quite slow, and you can negate quite a lot of the damage if you just rush through and kill enemies. If you have the ring that I have on, then you're just going to get your health back as well. So you should have all the same equipment. Oh no, you shouldn't have the same. It's up to you, obviously, which equipment you use. But if you are following along, you will have all the same stuff. Yeah, so toxic is something you need to be worried about. Not be worried about, but beware of. So yeah, I'm going to actually buy some from that witch or ghoul. You may remember her. She's in the really dark tunnel in the Undead Berg, the like up in the air aqueduct thing. So essentially, this is the farming spot. I've taken you back. I'm going to show you one route. Get the guys to follow you. You've done this before if you've seen the previous videos. Get the guys to follow you. Annoyingly, they can just sort of get stuck, and get them to drop down here. If you're lucky, all four will. The main three you want to get are these three. These are worth 2,000 each. If this guy here doesn't follow you, don't worry about him. He's only worth 1,000. So just leave him and just sit at the bonfire and keep going. So that's me done. 106. That was quick, wasn't it? You want roughly about that much. Anything that's spare, you can just level yourself up. It's always best to have more than not enough because you'll just have to run back. Now, you don't need to buy all of the miracles from the guy, from the Thorolund guy. That's not essential at this point because he will be back. But we want to just get these things out of the way while we can. So that's why we're doing it now. Because we're going to have to do some other farming later on for other things. So we're just trying to spread it out as well. So it's not as... I bet that was blooming purple moss that he just dropped with. Yeah, it can be quite overwhelming if you have to keep farming for hours and hours on end. So just splitting it up now and again is it's going to alleviate some of that. So we're going to run back to the smith now. He's on the way back anyway. I'm going to fully upgrade my shield and my bow. The shield is... Now the shield, fully upgrading this shield doesn't do a hell of a lot. It does increase the stability, which is not much, but I find it just comforting to know it's been slightly increased. Because the thing with Blighttown is you have to use your shield constantly. Rolling is not really an option. So having a higher stability on your shield is going to mean that you can take more damage and you won't get knocked back as easily. As well here, we'll be giving him the large ember that we got in the previous episode. He can now do raw weapon upgrades. We're not going to do all that yet. We've got lots of embers to get. We've got lots of upgrades to do. Don't worry about all that yet. We've got a better weapon now anyway. So I've just repaired everything, and then I'm going to go down to the longbow, sorry. It's up to you, short bow, longbow. Longbow does more damage, short bow's quicker. You can see there it's taking the top right hand side, it's taking Titanite shard and souls. It's a very small amount of souls, it's only 200 every upgrade. The problem is the Titanite shards, but luckily this guy sells like an infinite amount of them. So buy as many as you need. I know I need 9 per, I think it's 9, yes, 9 per full upgrade of the bow, and 9 for a full upgrade of the shield. So yeah, that's fully upgraded. That's plus 5 on the longbow now. Now I'm going to do the shield, which is going to put it at plus 5 as well. Again, stability is not very much, but it's just comforting for me, so I'm doing it. And I may upgrade that shield later on. The Black Knight shield is good as well. It is heavy, but no, it's not heavy. It's the same as the Grasscrest shield, isn't it? It is a good shield actually, but I'm not going to say use that because you may not have it. I was very lucky to actually get that this early. It was one of the very first Black Knights, I think, that I got that from. So yes, we are running back to... Where we're running back to? Violent Shrine. Even I'm getting confused now. See in the top corner there, we have Great Heal, Excerpt, Homeward, Force, Seek Guidance, and Heal. They are all miracles we're going to buy from the Thorolund guy. Yeah, I don't remember. I'm sorry. I've completely blanked on his name. And I'm not even sure if he is the guy from Thorolund. I think he is. You'll know who I mean. So the Homeward is a miracle. We will be using miracles because we have to get to level 25 on our faith, which is going to allow us to use miracles. This is for one of the covenants. We will be using them later. Homeward is good for farming because it's basically an infinite Homeward Bone. Homeward Bone are consumables that take you back to the last bonfire you rested at. So yeah, it just makes farming easier because you can just run to one end and then teleport back to the bonfire. So this is the guy I'm talking about. I forget his name. He's not going to introduce him here. So he's saying here his guests have finally arrived. It's this woman here and her 2 guards. We're going to meet those those 3 later on. We're going to meet those the ones behind a lot later on. In a lot of people say that Blighttown is one of the worst parts of the game. I really don't mind it. The place I really don't like is Tomb of the Giants. It is so dark. It's not even funny. But we will be getting a piece of headgear that's going to allow us to see. It does make it bearable. But it's also it's not very long, thankfully. It also has the worst enemy in there that I think. Anyway, the Bone Wheel guys, I can't stand those. If you know who they are, then you know what I mean. Here's the other guy. Here's Griggs. He has the sorceries. I'm going to buy all of these up there as well. So we've got Heavy Soul Arrow, Fall Control, Great Heavy Soul Arrow, Magic Weapon, and Magic Shield. If you didn't buy the others early in the previous episode, you may need to buy some more from him as well. Always check in the... I will explain it in a moment. In the held there on the right hand side of each item or whatever you're trying to buy from somebody, make sure your held is 0. If your held is 1, you don't need to buy it because you already have it. You're going to see it here. He's actually got 1 Pyromancy, so if you haven't bought the Pyromancies from this guy, go ahead and do that. You see there, I have held 1 under the 800 souls there, so I don't need any more. And then Pump quite a few or a decent amount into the Pyromancy Flame. You need it above 10 minimum, so get it up to 10 or 11, and then just save yourself a bit more to do some upgrades, some leveling up if you like, and then 4,000 just to buy some blooming purple moss in a moment, which you're going to see. I actually buy 4, you can see in the top there. I'm going to be doing that on the way, so I'm just having a look. I'm going to put 1 in Faith. Don't know why, don't need to at the moment really. I know I'm okay with endurance, strength and dexterity. I can deal with it with what I have right now, so I'm going to build up a bit in Faith while I can. It'll just save on farming later on. I won't have to go as high a level, but if you want to level up the more important stuff, do that by all means, and you can just level up a bit more later on. It's not a problem. Again, we've got Humanity in the top corner as well, still on 5, keeping it high. That's more important to me than souls, I think, keeping Humanity high. Once you die, obviously your souls and your Humanity get left behind. This was damn lucky. I don't know what happened there with that swing, but it just threw me off. That can happen. If that happens in Blighttown, it's not game over, but yeah, you're dead. So that was damn lucky. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but yeah, got away with it. Firebomb, don't need that. I'm a pyromancer. Got things that are a lot better. This rat I always like to kill because he can drop Humanity. So there are certain enemies I will always go ahead and try and kill, just because I might get lucky and find something I definitely know I need later on, like the blob guys in depths, which we will actually be seeing shortly. Yeah, so Blighttown, if you've been there, you know it. If you haven't, yeah, you either hate it or you don't mind it. You don't love Blighttown. But yeah, this woman here, just buy some blooming. This is the woman with the purple moss. Buy some of that. 2, 3, 4, whatever. A couple will probably do you. So just make sure you've got at least 1. You can pick some more. We will be picking some more up in Blighttown, but it's just to keep us going. So what I'm doing here is I'm changing the order in my inventory. I want this near the top. It could go at the top because Estus Flask has its own thing. So I can just quickly jump into the menu. I don't change the bottom thing where the Estus Flask is. I like that where it is. If I need something else, I'm going to jump into the menu and choose it. I'll just put it at the top of the menu. Yeah, so don't get confused, and I've always got Estus on hand if I need it in a situation. I don't want to be cycling through items or anything. So yeah, you know where we are. We're in depths. This was the previous episode. We're not staying here long. We're just passing through because obviously the door to Blighttown is this way. Yeah, you really don't have to do much of this at all. I'm just killing these guys. You could probably just run past them, to be honest, but I mean, it's souls. Well, it's not much, but yeah, it's something. Even if it's, what, 60 each, it's better than nothing. And then we're going to drop down to the right hand side. You can see this kind of arches there. This is going to be a bit of a shortcut. Don't have to deal with the dogs in the water then. And there we go. So there is a blob there. I'm going to kill this one. Pyromancy is great for these ones. I'm sure I've explained that in the previous episode, because it kills them in one pretty much. And I got super lucky, and this one dropped a green Titanite shard. Don't have my shield up ready because I'm so excited about actually getting a green Titanite, because they are rare and we do need them for leveling up certain weapons later on. So yeah, I'm happy to get one of those. And then we're going to run down here. We've got all these guys up here as well. So kill these, because if you get some green Titanite, it's going to help you out. You'll have to do less farming later on. I say the word farming a lot, like we're doing it all the time, but it's not as bad as some other game. This one's not as bad. 3 is probably the worst. Dark Souls 3. Super lucky. Another one. Couldn't believe it. And that's why I like to keep my humanity high in the top corner, because it does improve item discovery. And if you're walking around with high item discovery all the time, it's going to improve your chances for rare drops like that. I think it's 0.1 or 0.2 of a percent. It's something ridiculously low. It's either 1 or 2, or yeah, I think it's 1 or 2%, not point. 1 or 2% chance that one of those is going to drop a green shard. So to get 2 in quick succession like that is pretty lucky. Hopefully you get the same. Here's a couple more of them. Not going to get as lucky. Well, I'm not going to get lucky at all. Don't drop anything, I don't think. Trying to get this one to drop. Might as well. And then it's off to Blighttown. We've got 2 bosses. We're going to meet the family. I'm not massive. Well, no, I am. I am massive on the lore of these games. I love watching videos and finding out and discovering things about these games, because everything is in a certain place for a certain reason, and I love that. But I'm not somebody who you can come to for lore answers. I kind of understand it and I love to look into it, but I mean, I don't think anybody truly knows exactly what's going on. There are still things people don't know about this game. But yeah, we're going to be dealing with a family. I think it's the Witch of Ceaseless. It's her children that we're going to see. 2 of them are bosses, and one of them is not. These guys will hit you. So, unfortunately, I got this second one. There are 3 of them. Usually, you want to draw that first one closer and not have to bother with the second one coming in. You want to kill these guys one at a time. These guys hit really, really hard, but they're really, really slow. If you can get them towards an edge and do a backstab, you can circle them very easily. Yeah, they do that call. That's them sort of calling other enemies. So yeah, you got to watch out. These are definitely a lot easier on their own, but you also don't want them on a narrow walkway, because you can see when he hits me, even when I'm blocking, he's knocking me back. But backstabs is really, really easy. It's 3. If you've got the Drake sword like I have, it's 3 plus 1 hit backstabs. So 3 backstabs and then just 1 R1 will kill them. Yeah, so here there was 3 of them. He's calling again, and unfortunately I think he calls one. You can see the other enemy running now. So I'm trying to get rid of him because I know he's done the call. Here he is. So this is the other main enemy. I don't know the names of these guys. He's calling, so I know I can get rid of these. These take 4 hits. And yeah, I thought I'd get him. Didn't get him, unfortunately. But yes, backstab. Shield up, and then kind of if they're on their own, the big guys are really easy. Shield up, and then just circle around them and look for that backstab. It's cheap, I know, but it's a surefire way to get rid of them. These guys will just let them bounce off your shield for the most part. Don't try dodging. You can see there's just darkness off to the right. Don't do so much dodging. Rely on your shield here, because you could accidentally roll. If they do that attack, that one, keep away. He will drain about 3/4 of your health very quickly, and it gives the others time to jump on you as well. So the idea is edge forward in Blighttown. Just slowly move. You don't want to get 2 or 3 enemies at a time. I know I've done it, but yeah, it can happen. Sometimes they see you, sometimes they don't. This guy over here, this little Groot guy, you're going to see a few of these. These guys are shooting toxic at you. You can see he hit me there, and it builds up very quickly. 2 shots and then you're toxic. And your health will drop very slowly. Not slowly, very quickly. And the only way to cure it is that blooming purple moss that we bought earlier on. And it takes a very long time to wear down as well, so you can't sort of drain it out with Esther's flasks. Just keep healing. It won't work. You'll die. So you do need that blooming purple moss. So be aware of that. Yeah, that attack there is the main one you need to worry. Everything else just bounces off your shield. They're more of an annoyance, these guys, than anything else. So this is not the way we're supposed to be going. I'm going to show you quite a few of the items. I believe I miss a couple, but there's nothing important that I miss. You can drop down off that section there. That's where we fought the big guys. You can drop down onto here as kind of a shortcut if you wanted to miss the big guys out if you die for any reason or whatever reason. So yeah, we've got the Proud Soldier, Proud Knight things. I think they're worth 2,000. So quite a lot of souls in them. They're worth hunting down because they are kind of hard souls as well. You pop them when you need them. I don't use them too often. I like to save them for emergencies. This item here is a sword. It's like a Japanese sword. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name. We'll be getting that after. That is a shortcut as well. If you jump to it, which we will have to do, and jumping is not great in this game. You can go straight to the bonfire from there, and you don't have to deal with quite a few enemies. So it is pretty good, but there is some good stuff here as well. So walk round to this soul. You see the floor in front of it was kind of loose looking. That's because it is. You will fall. Not to your death, but just to a place that you don't want to be. This guy in the pot here, kill him, because if this guy comes down and hits him, then you're dealing with two all of a sudden. Behind me is the ladder. You'll see a lot of torch lights in this area. I'm trying to move the camera, it's not really working. So yeah, you can see down there there's dogs and all sorts. We're just going to go this way first. This is a bit of a secret area. There's another soul here. Proud Knight, so that's another 2,000. And then we're going to go up this ladder. So torchlight here, and then you're going to see it at the top again in a moment. Here we go. That means ladder. So look, if you're looking for the ladders, look for the torchlight. There's some more equipment. I'm not going to use it now. We do get some good stuff later on, but I'm not particularly bothered now. Again, just be careful when dropping around. You see there we're dropping on. And again, drop off. Be careful what you're doing because you can die very quickly. Or just fall, I mean. I'm getting hit with toxic again, so it's time to go. I'm trying to bait these guys out because I want to get to the bonfire and sit at it, but I'm not going to be able to. Unfortunately, I'm trying to do it here because those dogs, they breathe fire. They die very easily. They are quick, and you can block them with your shield without worry. If they hit you with that fire, it's going to be game over because it sort of burns you as well as an initial attack. It stays. So yeah, they're quite annoying, those little orange dogs. There aren't too many of them. There's only 2 up here, so I've just rested here now. I advise you do the same. Yes, all of the enemies are going to be back, but I mean it's a safety net, isn't it? I'd rather kill 1 or 2 more enemies than not. So this is the ladder. I'm going to climb up here. This is where the guy was in the pot. That was the ladder behind me. That's the way you're supposed to go. But I'm walking back, making my way back to that Japanese sword that is on the rooftop. I'm going to do that jump. Luckily, I make it first time. And don't have to reload or anything like that. Now, don't feel like you have to come and get this sword. You don't need it for any reason. These guys get stuck. This is quite annoying. So if this happens, then you're just going to have to kind of move around. I think they want to take it in turns. It's the one at the top now. He gets stuck again in a minute. He just can't make his way down. He's obviously got some sort of fear he's dealing with. Yeah, no, he's not having it. If I were to climb up as well, so I'm trying to bait. I'd wanted to get him down because oh my god, the camera's it's losing it. It's the lock on. Come on, there we go. If I were to climb up, I just know he would kick me down, and then I'd end up falling. So I'm just trying to be patient. There we go. They actually remind me of the giants from the BFG. Obviously they're not giants, but they look similar. So now I'm up at the back. I'm back at the start now, where I looked over and saw that item. I'm going to make this jump. Line yourself up. If you want to do this, but don't feel like you have to. Line yourself up. Go over that extra plank bit that's sticking out and make the jump. It's the Iaito. I forget. I can't pronounce. I'm sorry. It's a long Japanese sword. You do need very high dexterity. I think it's 20 to use it efficiently. Haven't used it myself before. I may switch to it later on and have a mess around with it. It may be good, but I'm not a big fan of the bigger swords in this game. I like the smaller ones because there are lots of narrow. You might see it now. You see it. I'm hitting the side, the wall as well. Sometimes it can just straight up block an attack, or you'll hit a wall and just completely miss. That is a thing that happens in this game a lot. So bigger sword, that's more of a problem. See, there it happened. I didn't hit him because I hit the wall, and again, and it can be a real problem in these narrow spaces. So I've cleared those two out, and then I've actually thought I will show you this way. You don't need to come and do this, but this is where you would fall. When I showed you that kind of rickety wood, I mentioned you would fall, but not to your death. This is where it will be. I don't need to climb. I need to go down here. So I'm just checking below me. There we go. So I know I can drop down there. If you don't want to drop, don't. You can accidentally end up down here. This is where you would drop. There is where you would drop. There should be 2 fire dogs down here. I don't know why they're not here. They must have jumped off and died. So I'm just looking for them. They're not here. They should be here. But maybe that was it. I just got some souls. You will see that happen a lot as well. You just get random souls from nowhere. It'll be an enemy falling off. And that's all that's here, is a humanity. If you don't want to have to deal with this bridge, I hate this bridge that we're going to go over in a second, then don't feel like you need to come and get this humanity. We can get you some more later on, or just farm it from rats. These bridges are horrible. They don't move naturally. They're really weird. I always bring my shield up when crossing a bridge like that. It just seems more stable. You're able to move, or a narrow section like this. There we go. There we go. That's the blooming purple moss. So where I killed those 2 guys at the top of the ladder when I hit the wall, that's where I am now. I'm below where I picked up the Iaito sword, where I did that jump. That's where I am. So I've basically come full circle. Didn't want to have to go over that bridge twice, basically, because I don't like it. So we're kind of at a mid part of Blighttown now. We're getting through it. I know I'm trying to bait these guys. I know where they are, and now you do as well. Because that is going to be your biggest problem, is getting pounced on like that. Usually only one of these fire dogs appears, but I'm trying to run in and get them. See another guy with the blow dart, the toxic blow dart. If you stay to this left hand side here, he can't get you. But these guys will try and jump you. So it's kind of, yeah, draw them out, get hit by the arrows or the darts. Sometimes you can just get one of these ones, and then it's not too bad. Obviously long swords have a use outside, like this, like you would hit both of them at the same time. But yeah, I always prefer a short sword. There, he's hit me. How quickly that goes up, it's ridiculous. So it's one of those little group guys again that's shooting me. We're going to go and get him in a minute. They are one-offs. They don't come back. So once you've killed them, they don't ever come back, which is pretty damn good. What am I looking for? Oh, I'm looking for, I know there's a shield kind of jutting off on one of these pillar things. There we go. So I'm just checking where it is. I thought it was on this level. It's not. It's a level down. Just getting confused. Even I'm getting confused still. I've done Blighttown quite a few times, but I just wanted to be sure. So you can see the torches. That's ladder. So always look for the ladders if you're the torches if you're getting lost. That's the way we need to go. So I need to go this way first just to get something. And again, we've got a guy messing around on a ladder. Yeah, there we go. The good thing about this, about Blighttown, about this section, if there are any good things, is you only ever need to do it once. Once you've done this, once you've descended into the swamp, there is another way out, which we'll open up. We have already opened it up, and I could have taken you in that way, but for the sake of finding everything, and so you know where everything is, we've come this way, because there are some pyromancies that we need to get in a minute. So yeah, in the very first episode of this, I went into the Valley of Drakes using the Master Key. That's the back way in, basically, to Blighttown, and that's the way it will be using from now on. Having said that, I don't think we need to come back here before we have the Lord Vessel, so we can just teleport. So that just makes things a lot easier. Once you have the Lord Vessel, which is about halfway through, it's after Anal Londo, then yeah, you can just teleport. Makes things a lot easier. Just going to grab this, and you can see there's another ladder ahead of me. You may be wondering about that squid thing behind me. We're going to go and kill that in a second. It's guarding a pyromancy we need. The power within. See at the top there. This is the dark guy that was shooting me while I was dealing with those two guys. So he's out of here. And then we're going to go round. And I'm going to die for the first time in this episode. Very, very stupidly. I don't know why I tried it. While I'm recording as well, I don't know why I tried this. We're basically going around the back of that squid thing so it can't get us. I'm going to kill it while it's vulnerable. I just wondered, can I hit it with my sword? Because usually you just use your pyromancy and kill it without a problem. I just wondered, for anybody who's not a pyromancer for any reason, can you hit it with the sword? The answer is yes, but you can fall and it will kill you. So don't do that. Instead, we'll go back towards it. Get your pyromancy, get fireball out or something with a bit of distance, and just chuck it at it. And you'll kill it with 4, I think. If you have mine's at level 11, so 4 takes care of it very easily. You could alternatively use a bow or something with a bit of range. And then we're going to grab the pyromancy there. There will be another one. Another guy will come after you. Well, we're almost there. We're almost done with the hard stuff. I wouldn't even say it's particularly hard. It's more just you having to be super safe. Here's another instance where I died. 2 deaths very, very quickly. I know there's a little guy. There's a big guy and there's a little guy. But when I died, there was a second little guy. I don't know where he came from. So there he is, he's back again. So yeah, having a big guy and a little guy together is not good. So I know the little ones take 4, and that's what I do. I do a lot with this game, is I will count how many times I've hit each enemy so I know where everyone's up to. It's just something that helps me, might help you. And that's pretty much it. I would say at this point we're done with the annoying enemies in Blighttown. There is an item below me there, and you need to balance across a lot of beams, I believe, to get that one. It's nothing important, so we're going to leave it. I forget what it is, but I remember it not being worth it. Almost dying and thinking, oh my god, why have I done that? So we're going to leave it. I'm just going to slide down here. You're going to see a new enemy turn up now. This it's like a Hellion or something. They look really imposing, but they're not. 3 strikes and they're dead. They use something called Flame Whip, which is a pyromancy we can actually get. But I mean, you can stun as soon as you hit them. You stagger them a little bit, so you can just kind of stun them and kill them very easily. If you want to be safe, just circle around the back of them. Their attack only attacks the front. So I'm just going back in here. This is where the item is, and if you see these long things, you have to walk across there to go across there. and then there's an item. I can't exactly remember where it is, but I know it's not important. So if you're wondering why I've not gone in there, that is why. So yeah, we can see the swamp. We're getting close to the bottom now. There we go. And I always do this. I jump. You can't get back up. I've tried. You cannot get back up. So the ladder's there to the right of me now. So I'm going to have to actually drop down. It's not a big deal, but it's just annoying. So there's another Groot shooting toxic at me now, which is fun. You will see me get infected or toxicked. Toxified is the word probably I'm looking for later on. But yeah, it's not a great problem. Well, it is a big problem. But if you have the blooming purple moss, then it's fine. You saw me get a weapon there called a falchion. I want to say falchion. That's how it's spelt to me anyway. That is a weapon we're going to fully upgrade to level 10. And then we are going to use the soul of the boss that is coming up to make Quelaag's Fury Sword, which is a weapon I really, really like. It's not a long weapon, it's a short weapon, it's a short sword like this. And yeah, it's a weapon I use quite a lot. And I'll be leveling that up as well. To level up special weapons like the Fury Sword or like any of the other rare weapons, you need something called, I think, yes, for this one you need it as well, for the Drake Sword I'm using now. You need something called Dragon Scale. We're actually going to get one in a minute. It's rare, so I'm not going to use it to level the Drake Sword. I hate these flies. If you struggle with the flies, the bow is quite good against them. Just one bow, one arrow will kill them. But I couldn't be bothered switching to the bow. So this whole swamp, as you can see now, is poisoned. I am poisoned. You can see that yellow bar in the middle of the screen there. That's my poison meter. That's going down now. That's how long you stay poisoned for. If you look at my health, how slowly that's going down, it's fine. I don't really mind being poisoned. We're going to just take it on the chin and go for a run around in a minute. If you rest at a bonfire, poison goes, and obviously your health goes up as well. So yeah, we're going to be going for a run around in a minute and getting some items. So yeah, poison, don't really worry about it. You can always cure it with just normal purple moss later on, once you're kind of out of the poison. So here's the Dragon Scale. We'll be using that to level up rare weapons later on. I wouldn't waste it on the Drake Sword. There are better weapons later on, and it is very rare material. So yeah, leave that one. We're going to go and see the first of the siblings now. The one that isn't horribly deformed. No, we're not, sorry. Beg your pardon. We're not doing that first. First, we're going to go and do a sweep of the left-hand side of Blighttown. This is still Blighttown. It's the swamp of Blighttown. We're just going to go and get some stuff now. Yes, I misread the top of the screen there. That's why I'm getting confused. But if you come around here, you can get the Pyromancy Poison Mist and some tattered things. This was obviously a pyromancer at some point. Things haven't gone too well for him or her. Yeah, this... oh my god, these flies. I hate flies like this in real life. And then they are just even worse in this. Yeah, like I said, a pyromancy or anything with a bit of distance bow is pretty good against those guys. You can see the little glint over there to the right. That is a leech. We're going to see a lot of those in a minute. We're just going to... basically, the main thing we're going to find here are some Titanite shards. You can come and do this at any point. We will be back down here to go to yeah, several areas. There's a couple of branching areas off, but they are later game. We're just going to poke our head in one of them in a minute and light a bonfire. So yeah, don't feel like you need to do this now, but just remember to do it, because there are some good materials down here. These guys as well, can drop large Titanite and green Titanite as well. So that's why I'm going to run around and kill all of them, or most of them. Because why not? Because I'll have to just farm it later on anyway. These guys aren't too bad. They spit the poison at you. I mean, I'm poisoned already. Who cares? And they sort of do a lunge, and that's kind of it. 2 hits and they're dead. They do become a problem when you get swarmed by them. So as long as you draw them out 1, 2 at a time, you're fine. Yeah, it's just going to do that. You can just circle them. Circle around. And just remember to heal as well. Every now and again. You are poisoned. Your health is going down. If you have the Ring of Evil Eye like I do, your health is, you see it going up. So it does negate it. Which is fine. Here's another. Yeah, the lock-on system is not working for me today. I'm looking at him. Why would you lock on the one behind me? There we go. There's another large. Yeah, don't run into them like this. This is 4 of them. This is not a good idea. When you're in the swamp as well, your movement is reduced. As you can see. But yeah, sweep these guys pretty easily. I think another one drops. Is it another one? Yes, this one has dropped something. So yeah, you can't see it. Green Titanite, very good. You can't see it with these guys. It's kind of worth just checking them. Because yeah, the light blue glow is not as obvious with these ones. And the last thing in the corner here is just a weapon called Server. I think it's called Server. Yes. Look at the top of the screen, it will tell you. Yeah, nothing I would ever use. You could use it. You can use it later on to. I believe you can use it to craft one of the rare weapons later on. So yeah, we're just going to pick it. I'm just showing you where it is in case you need it for any reason. I am now poisoned again. It had worn off. There it is. And yeah, now we're going to go into the hollow, which is this big tree next to me, the Great Hollow. Late game. Well, it's not late game. It's just later on. We're going to go into there. But I'm just going to poke my head in and show you where a bonfire is, just in case you're running low on health on Estus flasks here because you take too much damage or the poison's really getting to you. Yeah, just show you where it is. It's a whole secret area, this, or it seems like it is. Yes, there's no boss here, I believe. No, there's no boss in this place. So this is a secret area. Looks like just a normal tree hollow, but if you hit that, that's an illusionary wall. One illusionary wall, followed by yet another illusionary wall. And then if you run all the way into here, it's a pretty cool area. Great Hollow. It's big. It's basically a big hollow tree that leads to one of the most amazing looking ethereal type beaches. It's very weird. It's pretty damn impressive. We will be going there a lot later on. Remember those crystal lizards? Yeah, there's a lot of them on those branches. We're going to have to do a lot of lizard hunting later on. Because they do drop rare materials, so we're going to want to go and get those as well. Plus it has the weird little mushroom guys down there. And they're always fun. And unfortunately it's back to Blighttown for us. Everybody loves Blighttown. Dark, poison. What else? What else do you need? So you can see a little item there. Some more leeches. Get some green Titanite off the actual thing. This is one you can definitely go and find. So make sure you pick this up for sure. And now we're going to make our way back to the bonfire. I thought he was coming with us, but obviously not. Back to the bonfire. And go and speak to the first of the 3 siblings. Not that we go and speak to the other 2. We can only actually speak to one of them. The other 2 are the bosses. back, roll. This is where we came down, and then we're going to roll past here and into this tunnel again. This is where the bonfire is. They are just all coming with me today, aren't they? So I'm going to rest, because why not? Gets rid of the poison. Not that I'm going to go and get poisoned straight away now anyway. So like it really mattered. It's just habit, I think. It is a bad habit as well, because all the enemies respawn. So yeah, if you don't need to, then don't rest at a bonfire. There's another soul. And then we have Fire Whip and Great Combustion there with question marks. That's because we're going to go and speak to Quelaag. She's a Pyromancer. She's sat over here by this pillar. If you don't see her, it's because your Pyromancy flame is not plus 10 or above. So if she's not here, then you need to go and level up your Pyromancy flame. That's why we did it at the beginning of the video. So she would be here. Quelaag of Ceaseless, that's the one. Yeah, so she will sell you more Pyromancies. Hers are better than the ones you get from, say, Yes as well here. From Laurentius, her Pyromancies are pretty good. So yeah, go through all this. Obviously make sure to say yes, and she will then sell you stuff. You can also modify, you can also level up your Pyromancy flame. I don't know why I blanked then for a minute. Buy the most expensive one you can get. That's what I always do. So again, check you don't have held one. Make sure you're buying stuff that you don't have already. She will also ascend your Pyromancy flame as well later on. So once you get up to level 15, she will take you even further. So she is very important. Obviously, don't kill her. We will be back to see her quite a few times to level things up and purchase other things. Now we're just going to take a quick diversion. I know this is going on, and you just want to see the bosses, don't you? But unfortunately, it's going to involve some more climbing. There is one reason I'm doing this. Well, there's a few reasons. We are going to get a sorcery. I think it's a sorcery, this one up here. We're going to get these this clothing, these clothing items. And we're also going to get a Firekeeper soul. Now you can get, this is the way out of Blighttown. This is the back entrance, or exit, whichever way. I suppose it depends whether you're coming or going. I don't like this lift, and you're going to see why later on. Yes, so the Firekeeper soul is, we're going to see one of the other siblings, one of the other Ceaseless sisters. She won't be hostile. She will be able to level up your Estus Flask using the Firekeeper soul. The Firekeeper at Filing Shrine will now be dead. I know. Lautrec, you remember the guy with the golden armor? He will kill her. He will have killed her. So the fire has gone out at Filing Shrine. You can't rest there anymore. And she'll be gone, so she can't level up your Estus Flask. So yeah, you can do it with this. I forget the name of this sister. No, she doesn't speak. That's maybe why I've never seen it. Again, it's a lore thing. I'm sure you're all screaming the name out. There's the sorcery, so grab that. We also got some new clothing or armor. It's not really armor, it's clothing, I suppose. This crimson robe. You see, it's all blue. I mean, that's damn good. I've never been one to have one whole set of armor or clothing. It doesn't really bother me. I know it bothers some people, kind of the mismatch thing, but I always go with the best sort of thing that I have, because in this game you don't always pick up full sets, so I kind of just mix and match. I read through and I see what's best, and yeah. So we're gonna have, I think we actually have the waistcloth. We're gonna go with that. We're gonna keep the gargoyle helm. That's the mask we just picked up. it's not really worth it. A lot of red there. The thing we have is better. It is heavier. I mean, look at that. Look like a complete idiot. This is how I'm doing it. Yeah, obviously it's up to you. This thing is this set is it's not going to last long. We're actually going to get a better version. It's actually pretty much exactly the same. It definitely looks the same. It's just a black version of it, which is good against fire. It has high fire protection. So this is another section with these group guys. They are all over the place. So have your glooming purple moss at the ready. I'm just getting rid of this fly because the last thing I want to do is have a fly following me in there and give me problems. Obviously, don't hit when a fly is over the edge like that. Don't try and hit it. You'll follow it over and die. Yeah, so I'm going to get toxified. Is that the right word? It probably is. In a moment, you're going to see it happen. It's just 2 arrows, and there's at least 1, 2, 3 of them in here. There's one down below. No, there's 4 of them. So this guy here, and then there's the one. His friend has just got me from over there. So while you are actually toxic, it's best just to go and get this remaining one. If you are, you can see it goes down at the same sort of speed in the middle, but life goes down a lot quicker. I was thinking of jumping down, then I thought, no, that's a stupid idea. There are a lot of fire hounds down there, so we're going to be using the bow and arrow to clear this out. Where is he? There he is down at the bottom. You can see there's 2 fire dogs there. I think there's 3 in the square behind me. We do need to get down there. That's where the Firekeeper soul is. So I'm going to switch to longbow. Not something I'm going to keep on me for long because I am over the percentage now. I will be fat rolling. 1, 2, and he's down. And now it's just a case of, oh, he actually gave me a purple moss as well, so he replaced the 1. Unfortunately, you can't get rid of an item screen like that if you're in sort of combat like this. You need the X prompt to show up, which it will do now. So yeah, you see there's a lot of those dogs, and if you get those guys all together, they can make very short work of you. So yeah, just use the lock-on version of the bow and arrow now. Should have plenty of bows. We'll probably go and stock up later on. The merchant that we found in Undead, the very first merchant that we used, we're actually going to kill him later on. He holds a special weapon, or a one-off type weapon. So we're going to kill it because we need it to upgrade to turn into a rare weapon. So yeah, we're going to get that later on. We can buy arrows from many different places, so it's not a loss. Well, it is a loss. I suppose it's a loss for him, but you know what I mean. I think actually the smith sells arrows, so that's where we'll probably be buying most of them. You'll probably find you don't use the bow and arrow too much. It's kind of a niche thing. It's great for sections like this, where enemies can, lots of small enemies can run up on you. You can also just get them all crowded around that ladder and do a drop attack, but it's a bit more dangerous. There are 2 more in here. 2 of them together is not too bad. If you do a little walk forward there, you should just get the 1. They are very weak, these things, but they also hit very hard with that fire. So it is best to just separate them. And there's the Firekeeper soul. We will be upgrading our Estus flask very shortly, after a little boss called Quelaag, which is the next thing we're doing. Get out of here, go back to the bonfire, rest, and then go for it. Quelaag is actually one of my favourite bosses in the game. I don't find her. I did the first time I ever went to take her on. I did find her very difficult, but that's when I actually realised that you don't keep your distance. The worst thing you can do with Quelaag is keep your distance, which is rare. Usually that's the best thing to do, considering what sort of attacks she does and what she is as well. She's a giant spider. Yes, keeping your distance is the worst thing you can do. You just run into her, and you can actually get a lot of damage in and not take any damage yourself. If you get kind of stuck or lodge yourself in between her front sort of legs, then yeah, that was the turning point when I realised you could actually just run in and do it. So that's what we're going to be doing. Yeah, I hate this. This is the lift back down. I hate it for obvious reasons. I mean, it's just horrible. There's no, look how much of the gap there is there. I'm just weighing it up. So you go in between the torch here, the two torches, and then just drop on. But yeah, it just looks like you're gonna die. You're just gonna have to trust it. But yeah, it's not the best, and you're gonna. I'll save it. I'll let you see it. Yeah. So I didn't follow my own advice there. Torches is where the ladder is, not wandering around. So yeah, next is the Chaos Witch Quelaag boss fight, and then after that we're going to do another boss fight very quickly after her actually, which is her brother, and he's in a late game area, but he is probably the easiest boss in the game, or one of, because he has an inbuilt kind of cheese. You can kill him without actually doing anything. It's actually quite sad. I'll explain it when we get to that. Sort of from a lore perspective, it's quite sad. So we will see that shortly. So sorry, there are 4. I said 3 before. I completely forgot about the fire keeper. If you go this way as well, by the way, wait for this poison to run off. You can actually make it to Quelaag's domain, to her lair, without being poisoned, which is going to save you a bit of Estus and a purple thing. So if you jump and go roll through here, see I'm almost there but I'm not quite, and then just let it wear off a bit, and then there's just one little bit of swamp left, and you can make it. There are giants guarding the front, so taking the flank is definitely the way to go anyway. We're not just going to bother with those rock giants at all, we're just going to leave them. Yeah, there are 4 siblings. See, I don't know the lore for this game. This is why I always get confused. It's because they all begin with Q as well. Yes, there's the Firekeeper that I don't know. There's Quelaana, who was the one outside that we bought the Pyromancy from. Quelaag, who is the boss we're doing now. And then the brother, Ceaseless Discharge, because why wouldn't you call your son that? And then there's the silent Firekeeper. So here's Quelaag. And there she is. Seems almost a shame to kill her, but we're going to have to do it. And that is quite an abomination. So she's going to do that jump attack to start with, try and hit you with the lava, so just dodge roll past it. So you can see I'm trying to get stuck in between her first and second leg. As she does that attack, she will do a 3 swing attack, like that. She'll swing across, and then across again, and then forward. That's when you try and tuck in. When she lifts up her skirt like that, so she sort of lifts up the front of the spider, that's when you run. That is an AoE attack that will kill you, or do a lot of damage. I also messed up a bit there by getting in front, but I do get the lava attack, which is the best attack. Also do this two-handed, no need for a shield when fighting Quelaag, so you're going to see it in a moment. She just keeps doing that. I don't know what the point of that was, but you don't want to get her on a ramp either. You want to get her in the flat sections, because the sword thing doesn't work. She's doing it again, and I can't get out because I'm stuck on... Yes, that was very close. I was stuck on the legs there, unfortunately. But you do get quite a good bit of respite from her, because she does that. Or I get that. I got that attack a lot. But you're going to see in a moment when she does the sword swipe, try and dodge through the first one. I believe you can actually, or I have done it in the past, miss the first swipe as well. So again, I get the lava. It's so good that she's doing this. Hopefully you get that as well. It means you can get quite a few attacks. Here she's going for the... there's lava in the way. That was close. Come on, let's do the sword attack. Let's see that again. Here we go. Is this going to be it? Yes. So dodge through the first, or kind of get hit through the first. And then tuck right in on the right-hand side of her here. And she can't hit you, which is great. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to dodge and just hit in. So I'm hitting now. I'm not dodging or anything. I'm just attacking. The second two always seem to miss if you hook onto a head like that. Here we go. Sometimes she'll just switch it up and do the last one. She's doing the AoE again, so it's time to get the hell out. And that's pretty much it. You have the lava squirt, which is the best thing she can do. Gives you plenty of time to get in there. And then this is the lift up skirt AoE, but I know I can kill her, so I do it. And there we go. Quelaag is down. Yes, when you first fight her, she can be a bit intimidating. But if you just stay in close and get into that right-hand side, so it's our right, her left-hand side, and just tuck in to that front, she won't get you with those attacks, and just run away when the AoE happens, and you'll be fine. So here's the second bell. Yet another cutscene, 2 cutscenes so quickly. So that gate that we just saw open then is the gate to Sen's Fortress. That's where we're heading to left. Ring the bell there. Story trophy. Very rare occurrence getting a trophy in this game. They're all sort of at the back end. You will have noticed when I killed Quelaag, I got something called Quelaag's Soul. Whatever you do, do not crush that for souls. Save that. We need those to make rare weapons. Here's another illusionary wall. Do not kill this guy. Do not hit him. He is a friendly. The very first playthrough I ever did, I hit him, and then I had to go and be pardoned before I could carry on. Answer yes to him. Make sure to do that. Yes, the soul of Quelaag. We're going to use that to forge a sword later on. That is why we have to do so many playthroughs, is to collect those souls of the bosses. So yes, whatever you do, do not crush it. You get a lot of souls for crushing them. 10 to 20,000. I don't actually know because I don't do it. Here's Quelaag's sister, I believe. I think it's her sister. She doesn't talk, but she is a firekeeper, and she also will let you enter the Chaos Covenant. So ask to join. You'll get the trophy joining or not. You've just discovered it. That's what the trophy's for. If you join, you also get the Great Chaos Fireball Pyromancy, which obviously we need for a trophy. So join. This is also the covenant where we need to offer 30 humanity. Don't do that yet. Don't offer her any. Instead, just upgrade your Estus flask or reinforce it. And yes, that's pretty much it. This is another bonfire that gives you 10 Estus. So rest here. This is also one we can warp to later on. So we'll be seeing this place a lot. Doing a bit of repairing here. Yeah. So I'm not sure why she's friendly, as Quelaag wasn't. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the lore. Again, Vatividya, he's the guy to go for lore. Check his videos out if you want more on that. Right, this is a late game place. This is right towards the end of the game we're going now. But we're going to go and see Quelaag's brother and get rid of him. Demon Ruins. So these guys here, these are not friendly. Well, they're not friendly, they're just kind of passive. But they're not a problem if you hit them. So get a one-handed weapon so you don't kill him, essentially. Hit him to get him aggro. Any of them, doesn't matter which. I'm saying him, could be a female. And then just kind of stand near him and let him try and do this grab. Can take a second just to get it. Here we go. Where are we? Basically, you want to get him to grab you, and there we go. He's going to do that, and he's going to basically inject an egg into your head. Doing this is going to get the guy we saw before that I said is a friendly version of these. His name is Aingi or Engi, something like that. An egg is going to grow on your head shortly. Takes about, let's say, 5 minutes or so in game time, and it'll appear. Speak to him once you have that, and he will sell you certain pyromancy that we can't get anywhere else. Yeah, so we need that, and that's why we're doing this. Yeah, this is late game. We're going to go and get another version of this this armor. I know it's not really armor, but you know, the cloak. That is pretty damn good. It's good against poison and fire, so we're going to go and get that. So this is the boss fight. This is Ceaseless Discharge. This is the brother, the Iaito brother. As far as I'm aware, I could be wrong, but as far as I'm aware, this is the brother. An amazing name, I must say. I wonder if they actually registered it, or if it's just a nickname. But he is not hostile, so we're in the boss fight now. He is not hostile. Here he is. Until you either attack him or you take this armor set. I believe it's one of his sisters, or maybe his mother's, the Queen of Islith, Witch of Islith. Sorry, I'm not 100% on the lore, but he's going to basically get very, very upset that you've taken it, and that's going to start. You see, here we go. I'm going to take it gold hemmed. There we go, gold hemmed black. Stay back. Do not. Yeah, and don't throw pyromancy. I thought it was my shield. I was trying to hold my shield up. Do not run into that first attack, and then just run for dear life. He can one hit you if you're right near him and he does his attack. So just run. Wait for that first one, that flame thing, and then run. Go all the way back to the boss fog. He might, because I think I'm slightly behind because I accidentally did that pyromancy. If that happens, you might get hit with... Where is it? It's going to happen very soon. There we go. That's his attack. You might get hit with that. If you do, obviously just heal up and wait by this fog. Bring your shield up. It's not necessary. I just like to do it anyway. He will usually stop there, but because we've taken this clothing, he's going to make this jump here to try and get you in a last-ditch desperate attempt. I believe you don't actually have to hit his fist. He will just fall, and that's it. Boss fight over. So what's happening now? There is going to be another little cutscene here, but it's nothing major. It's all the lava's going to run off, and it's going to open up the demon ruins, so we can explore it fully, which we're not going to do because it's late game and there are some really tough guys here. If you die, if the Ceaseless Discharge kills you, you can still use this cheese, but you will need to run all the way up to that altar again, and then all the way back. But the fight will start as soon as you go through the fog. So use that back route and go back to the altar. You should be able to get, you can get round him before he attacks, because he will start at that back end and walk slowly round. So it gives you enough time to get into that little tunnel we went in. So yeah, run back to the altar and then run back to the front. Here are, there's a Capra demon, and there are lots of Taurus demons. We're going to fight those later on. So you remember the first boss and that little guy, the boss in the little room? Yeah, they're a main, not a main enemy, but just a general enemy in Demon Ruins. So yeah, Taurus demons, lots and lots of Taurus demons. But yes, you will see the difference being leveled up can do in this game. So now the egg has not grown on my head yet, so I'm just going to go and run up here and I'm going to wait. Obviously I'm going to cut, but you may need to wait sort of 3-4 minutes or so. Shouldn't be far off, and then this is going to happen. You'll see him itching, and then the egg is just going to pop. And that's us now. Go and speak to Engi. I'm probably saying that completely wrong. And he's going to say, oh, you're like me kind of thing now. You must be one of us. And then he's going to give you a cure for it as well, thankfully, which is the egg Verifuge. Basically, just take it and it'll go away. But this will also allow you to purchase a sorcery from him. It is expensive. So I don't feel like you need to buy it now. There it is, 25,000. We have poison mist. You can see they're held one, so don't buy that. It's toxic mist you need, 25,000. Don't feel like you need to buy it now. You don't. He will also do your pyromancy flame as well. This is a warpable bonfire. We can come back here a lot later on, so don't feel like you need to buy that yet. We'll do it later. So take that. Apparently I look like David Bowie. I didn't realise that. Put your armour back on. You'll need to do that. And then I was going to finish the video here, but I'm going to run us back to where we're going to start the next video. Basically get the hell out of here. Out of Blighttown. Almost couldn't remember it then. So we have to go all the way back. You remember that that wheel that we took up before the lift? That's the way out. So I'm going to go back up to Quelaag's domain and out through the boss arena. Yeah, so hopefully Quelaag's not much of a problem for you. Again, there's just the 3 attacks, and all very readable. If you get the lava attack a lot, then you're sorted, you're done. These guys as well, obviously, don't hit them. They're friendly. They're kind of preying, so you can just leave those alone. If you do hit or kill one of those ones, they explode into a load of worms that will kill you instantly. Those things are really powerful, so just ignore them. Go left or right. I'm going left because I want to go back to Quelaag and just spend some of the souls up, buy some of her more expensive pyromancies, because again we do need them all for a trophy, so it's better to spend souls on stuff you need rather than just carry them around. Whenever you can ditch souls on something, do so. Never carry around large amounts of souls, because you'll regret it if you lose 50,000. That stings. Even though you can go and farm it again very quickly, it stings still. So those flies will always disappear if you go and speak to her. I know I'm poisoned, but we can get this conversation done before anything happens. Again, I'm going to choose the most expensive ones while I can. So I'm going to use Firestorm. Probably should have got Great Fireball, because it's 20,000. It's pretty good. It's better than Fireball, obviously. But I'm going to use an Undead Rapport. Just 2 of the expensive ones. The best ones I could afford, basically. And then we're off. Back up towards Firelink Shrine now. So usually you would come up here and you'd get that Firekeeper soul, get to Firelink Shrine and realise that the fire's out and the Firekeeper is dead. So yes, it's a good job we went up and got it. That's why we did that little detour. It's definitely worth reinforcing your Estus Flask. Do you know what's really funny? Killing Quelaag and Ceaseless Discharge without dying, and then on the way out of this hellhole that is Blighttown, getting to the top of the lift and missing your step. So that happened. Obviously, I'm just going to reload here. I hate this lift. I really, really hate it. Because of the way Dark Souls is, there's no edges to anything. You can fall off anything. So, that's the thing. Obviously, wait. I've been up this lift so many times as well. Usually wait till right to the end. I don't know why I stepped off early. I think, no, I was actually thinking on the way up as well. Wouldn't it be funny now, after doing all that and not dying, to die while on the lift? And it must have just been subliminal and it just happened, because of course it did. But yeah, we're going up here. That's where we went. So we're going into uncharted territories now. There is going to be one of these, I don't know what they are, Hellion bug things. The fire whip things. They really aren't a problem. They look really imposing. Oh, they are a fly, aren't they, I suppose? Sort of buzz around. But there is the bigger problem here is there's going to be 3 of those big guys at the top of here, or on the way out, should I say. You can divide and conquer, just draw them out one at a time. So here is the key called the key to New Londo Ruins. If you have the master key, you do not need that key. That is the key out of here. We've already opened the gate up to get out of here with the master key. So yeah, but anybody who doesn't have it for any reason, that's where that is. So these guys, you see how easy they are on their own. Just circle round them, backstab, and then circle round. Kind of. Couldn't quite find it. There. Loads of time left on them. They do have a lot of health though. They do drop something called dung pile as well. I don't know if this one drops one then. It's not a thing I use. It poisons the enemies and it also poisons you. So it's not something I use. Obviously you can use it and then cure yourself, but I don't know. I've never really used them. I just know that I got poisoned when I used it, so I don't bother. So you see at the top we're going to get the dingy hood, robe, gloves, and then the bloodstained skirt and the black eye orb. This is all the stuff, all the garb worn by the firekeeper in Firelink Shrine. The black eye orb is the most important thing there. It's Lautrec that killed her, the golden knight that was sat in front of her that we rescued out of that prison cell. He's the one that killed her, and we're going to go and kill him, but later on. He's in probably the best place of the game, Anor Londo, which is it's not going to be the next video. The next video is going to be Sen's Fortress, which is another not great area, to be honest. But after that we're going to head to Anor Londo, where it's just beautiful. And then yes, you use the black eye orb. It actually tells you, I think it says it vibrates or something like that, if I remember rightly. I don't want to see, is it vibrates? I forget. But basically you go to a certain part of Anor Londo, and the black eye orb kind of lets you know you're in the right area, and then you use it and you'll go to a different world, which is where Lautrec is hiding out. It's like another dimension, and you have a little it's not a boss fight, but it's kind of like an NPC fight. It is quite difficult actually, because he's there with 2 others, one of which being a mage, which is really annoying. Mages are probably the worst to fight against in a group, because obviously they just sit back and throw soul arrows at you. So you need to just be aware of that. So here we are, Firelink Shrine. You've been this way before if you followed this video. Here's the Firelink. There's Lautrec. He's got, well, there's not Lautrec. He's gone. And there's all the stuff. So grab that. Black Eye Orb's going to come in handy later on. Dead. Description, dead. And yeah, I'm just going to run back to the smith in and that's where the entrance to Sen's Fortress is, and that's where we're going to start the next video. You can see there the fire is out. You try and light it and it says you can't, basically. Here's the guy, Thorolund, it's probably wrong. He's gone now. He'll be back later on, so don't worry. The miracles will still be available. Yeah, I'm going to run back there. I'm going to do a little bit of leveling up, and then you'll see the level I finish on, and then that will be the end of the video. So I will leave it here. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.